Hi, everyone. I'm Anthony Lobosco, founder of NeighborBee, and I hope you and your families are well. NeighborBee is a platform that showcases small businesses, entrepreneurs, and people that are having a positive impact on their communities. And today, we are doing this in a format that we call a Beeline interview over Zoom, because right now we're in the middle of a pandemic. As much as I'd like to be doing this interview in person, we have to do it via Zoom. So today we are honored to have Andy Lagow. He is a car leasing and sales specialist, which I guarantee most of you don't know what he does, but I guarantee that it's a lot of value that he will provide to your lives. So Andy, how you doing?
I'm doing okay.
What is it that you do, Andy? You know, I think that people here, they don't really know that people like you actually exist.
To sum it up, I take a different attitude than when somebody goes into the car dealership.
So you've been in the car business for you've been in the car business for your whole life.
Entire life. I have a lot of contacts I built over the years.
So Andy, I want to ask you, so what you're saying is that you are representing people to buy or lease cars, and because of all your contacts that you have and everything you've done in your entire career, you are now able to parlay that and help people through the buying process of buying or leasing cars.
To make a long story short, yes, I've harvested all of the best dealers, the best general managers, some of the owners, and I'll pick up the phone. Most of it's done on the phone. If someone wants to go to the showroom, I'll make an appointment and have a salesman work with them, which doesn't cost them typically a salesman's commission at that point either. That gets shaved, for lack of better words. That's my arrangement with the dealerships, and that salesmen are happy because I'm bringing them a deal. It's pretty much with the client confidence that it's going to happen.
Well, first of all, let me ask you this. Do I have to buy a Ferrari or a Jaguar or anything to work with you, or do you also work with Hondas?
Pretty much anything.
Wow. So really like the average Joe almost, and then you have people on the high end will work with you and everyone in between.
Absolutely.
That's great. And how do you is that a cost for people like me to work with you? How do you make money as well? Like
the dealer pays me directly.
Well, that's great. I mean, you are an amazing advocate for, and I speak as a client of Andy. I mean, we've been doing business for decades, and with not only with my family, but with me personally too. I can't even count how many cars over the years, leases that you've helped with, but you are a true advocate for people. And
Thank you. We got very lucky with yours.
Yeah, well, I'll go through that in a second, and that because that's a great story, especially now. But really, I mean, so what is the value that you are adding essentially to people by you working with them?
When I started in the business, it was a family business, and not to make a long story, but just my grandfather used to tell me how it's wonderful to watch people pick up their new car, and that feeling has been lost over the years. And I enjoy bringing that back. I like to see someone smiling when they pick up their car, that it wasn't a burden and a job and a half to shop for it, and to be beat up by people in the showroom, to try to be closed when they were there that day, pay something and get something they don't want.
Just getting back to a personal story with Andy, right? And I think this might even articulate things a little better in terms of the value, because there's a tremendous amount of value. Andy sits down initially and talks about what the current state is. Your lease, or you're in a lease now. Do you want to stay with the car? Do you want something new? What do you want to do? And then from there, so you're taking from a current state to a desired state, and everything you're talking about, the dealerships and everything like that, is you know, he's working, he's doing all the legwork on that. He's doing all the heavy lifting that we would not have to deal with in terms of
Absolutely.
dealers, if you will. So with that being said, are you also, can you work on all certain geographies, or are you limited to a geography?
Well, certainly it's easier when it's in my area, but when people move, which goes on, they do, like yourself, I go out of my way to introduce myself and make the same thing happen in a dealership near their town on the vehicle they want.
So I live in Westchester County. Andy lives in Long Island. So we got I got a Honda. He got me a Honda lease a couple of years ago in of all places, New Rochelle. And guess when my lease was up? My lease was up in March of this year. And guess what? Where did COVID start? In New Rochelle. And that's when it came. That's when it started in March. It was a very terrifying time for everyone. And
Yes.
you know, so Andy was able then, you know, speaking with Andy, he was able to not only get the lease extended, and he would work with Honda Financial to get the lease extended, but then he was able to negotiate, you know, another lease to get a new car, a new Honda Sport, which is, it's a great car, the newest lease of 2020. He was able to do that, and they actually. So I think that it was a marginal increase in my lease, number one.
I
But
think it
number
was
two,
$2 a month there.
yeah, like $2 a month or something. But it turned out that they actually delivered the car. And that was a coincidence, but it was.
Well, I asked them to.
Okay, well, thank you very much for that. On my birthday of all times, in the beginning of May. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. I mean, it was really, it's a great story. Not only is he, you know, that's, in my opinion, that is the most extreme of circumstances. And just because Annie knows me well, you would do this for really anyone.
Of course I
And
would.
you
I
know,
mean,
that's-
most of the time I handle the credit. I don't like to let the dealership do it because, there's too many people running around in different directions, and I just want to get it done. I just want to start it and finish it day one. If it's okay with the customer, of course, because the faster I get it done, usually the better it is for the customer, because I just push it through the dealership.
That's awesome. Well, you know, again, he's saving time and effort. You're doing all the heavy lifting. It's really amazing. And there are so many other details about, you know, what he does, what he can do, and things like that. But you want to reach out to Andy via email. We'll have the email on here on the YouTube, which is liautonet@gmail.com. So again, email Andy for more details on what he does and how he can help you, because it is absolutely phenomenal what he does. liautonet@gmail.com. Thank you very much, Andy, and
Thank you.
have a great
I'm
day.
humbled.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
are we, Andy. Take care.
You got it.